Hi there, Stephen Cafaro, President and CEO of CC Stevens & Associates, better known to you as Dr.Static. Today I want to talk about electrostatic attraction and how it affects medical device manufacturing and life science manufacturing. What I want to do is talk about two simple rules we can implement into your clean rooms that is going to mitigate some of that particulate and particle issues you're having, which are causing some of your yield loss. First of all, let's talk about the manufacturing area in general. Everything is done in med device spaces and life science spaces in clean rooms. What's a clean room? A clean room is designed to air scrub particles out of that room and keep it clean. But those particles need to be airborne, and airborne particles can get scrubbed through that clean room concept. But ESA, electrostatic attraction, will cause those particles to stick to your product, to your chairs, to your shelving, to the floor, and thus not allow us to scrub those particles out of our system, thus making our clean room really not that effective. So today I'm going to talk about ESA, electrostatic attraction, how it affects your process, and how we battle and deal with that. And then at the other side of that, once we have particles on our parts, what do we do with them? Typically we want to mechanically clean those, blow those off, and source capture those particles and get them out of the room altogether. Let's first start with the ESA, electrostatic attraction. Any contact and separation will cause a high electrostatic charge, and that charge will cause either a process issue, handling issue, or an electrostatic attraction issue. As I get close to those particles, and those are large parts of oregano, you're going to see the ability for that electrostatic field to attract particulate to it. That is what's causing all of our attraction of particles in our clean room, causing some of those yield losses. The way we combat that is through ionization. Ionization and static control comes in a lot of forms and fits. We've been representing Simco Ion since 1978. Simco Ion is a world leader in ionization products and a world leader in clean room ionization. Everything from electrostatic static bars to deal with web processing in critical environments in tools, to process ionizers from fans, both vertical and horizontal, ionizing bars in laminar flow applications, and of course our umbrella approach, which is our ionizing clean room ionization with our room system. That allows us to get more of a suppression of those fields throughout the clean room. Let me show you how some of these devices work. If I'm able to take a part and do that same demo that I just did for you, the contact and separation that I'm creating is going to be mitigated immediately, thus eliminate my process issue and eliminate my electrostatic issue. So just having a process ionizer in our critical work environment would allow us to mitigate those fields and not allow those to cause that ESA, that electrostatic attraction. Now, if I shut off my process ionizer for 1 second, and let's talk about room ionization. When I think of room ionization, I want to give you this analogy. Room ionizers are like our sprinkler systems we see in every building. They're designed for suppression, to keep fires down and keep anything that might have had happened suppressed to a safe level. That's the same with room ionization. They are designed to suppress fields that they do not get high enough to cause that ESA, that electrostatic attraction. Process ionizers, I want you to think of them as a fire hose. So when that fire does present itself, either in a critical work process or a tool or a cell that's not exposed to that room ionization system, process ionizers are great to mitigate, eliminate that field immediately. Let's take it one step further. I'm going to show you these demos now utilizing a plastic part, which is going to be very common in any of your medical device manufacturing. Most medical devices are made in some form of plastics, which are high generators or static fields. I'm going to turn on my electrostatic FMX004 Simco ionizing field meter. And again, I'm just going to contact and separate which is how static is created. Recognize that high static field. And in this case, we are negative 8,000 volts. And again, that electrostatic field is what's going to cause the tremendous attraction, electrostatic attraction to my part. So the simple way to mitigate that is to mitigate the field through suppression or through process ionizers, so that electrostatic field does not have the ability to pick up particulate like we see here. But that's not always the case, and even with the best steps in place, we're going to have high particulate on our part just through gravity. So now that we're here, what do? Well, old school, what I've seen in a lot of applications is we're doing a constant wiping down. We're wiping the parts to clean them, either with clean room wipes or alcohol just to clean the part. And the problem with that system is we do not mitigate the electrostatic field. The field is still present. So anytime it comes in close proximity to particulate, we're just going to recontaminate the part. So the key is to utilize ionizing air guns in your area to clean your part, neutralize it, and of course we're going to take it one step further in source capture. So let me show you really quick what we got going on today. We have, again, Simcoe Ion, world leader in ionization product, one of their ionizing air guns. This is the Simcoe Top Gun. This is a fixed mounted benchtop ionizing air gun. But I'm using that in incorporation with CC Stevens' patented manufacturer of our particle capture systems. I designed this system about 7 years ago out of this basic needs of not only blowing off particulate, but capturing. So now, with my contaminated part, I can blow off, neutralize my part, and source capture the particulate. So we're going to back up just a little bit so I can go back here and show you. Now with my neutral part, my electrostatic field, my ESA is mitigated, and that ability for that plastic part to capture and collect particulate is now gone. So let's summarize real quick. Again, contact and separation of a plastic part is what's generating our high electrostatic fields, that ESA. That electrostatic attraction is going to happen to any plastic part anywhere from 2 kilovolts, 2,000 volts and up to attract a particulate to it. We're going to mitigate that with either suppression, right, with room ionization systems, or process ionizers in the form of blowers, horizontal or vertical, or ionizing bars in our critical areas where our tools or web converting. And then, of course, once we need to clean those parts, we're going to clean them with ionizing blow-off and particle source capture. Let me just take you one step through our particle source capture. We manufacture everything from our PCS Clean Cube, which is designed for material handling, batch cleaning, large process cleaning, where we incorporate ionizing suppression with an ionizing fan, ionizing blow-off with the Simcoe Top Gun, and then a complete downdraft source capture. So we're source capturing that particulate as we blow it off. We then can utilize all of that with under bench mount tabletop versions where we can mount the source capturing particle capture system right into a table. So we're not taking up bench space. But if bench space is available, of course, we have our tabletops, both the PCS Clean Station and the PCS Clean Station XL. Again, utilizing the Simcoe Sidekick Top Gun or the Simcoe Blowflex fixed mount nozzle to do that mechanical blow off. And then taking you all the way to final packaging. Prior to you taking your tray, your part, you want to clean these before you seal it, just to assure. We have our PCS Clean Table. This has been just a really fantastic product in the field. We're able to, from left to right pass, neutralize, blow off, and capture that particular prior to sealing. Thanks again for spending a little time with us. I know this video went a little long. If I leave you with anything, I want to leave you with a couple things. And back in the 80s when I started in this industry, most of my time was spent on ESD, electrostatic discharge, both semiconductor, aerospace manufacturing, defense manufacturing. We were out there preaching what ESD was. And now you fast forward 40 years and that industry has really got a grasp of ESD and some of the protocols they put in place to protect against that. The ESA industry, medical device life science, is where we were back in the 80s when it came to ESD. We're trying to get the word out of what could be affecting your yield loss due to contamination, and we can guarantee that ESA is part of that equation. So what we want to do is suppress, mitigate those static fields, and then of course, blow off, clean, and source capture those particles at either final packaging or at critical work areas. Feel free to reach us here at 805-658-0207. Send us an email. Visit us here at our Camera Row headquarters. Bring part of your parts, your trays. We will not only show you the effects of static mitigation utilizing the Simco Ion world leaders of static control equipment and our world leaders of particle capture, the PCS Clean family of products. Thanks again for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.